What's happening? What's happening, man? Welcome to another episode. AR 18, always ready. Join us, man. Subscribe. Tap in. Always ready online. Catch us on the podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Just join the family, man. We just like to have fun in a very positive, motivational setting. You know what I mean? We're gonna give you some good stuff from the lenses and the minds of two of the greats. Easy.
Greatest ever.
Greatest ever. Self-proclaimed. You know what I mean? We in there. Go ahead and subscribe, man. Join us. And then also tap in on Thursday evenings, man. We do live trainings. All right, our virtual live trainings go crazy. We take a deeper dive and we give it to you straight up, man. That's the real. So
it's good.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's a good week.
It's always a good week, man.
Yeah.
It's always a good week. You know, it's a good week. It's a heavy week for me. Unfortunately, man. Fortunately, but unfortunately, you know, my grandmother, a staple, a centerpiece, man, centerfold. Probably shouldn't say centerfold. That's not probably, she wasn't a centerfold, but my grandmother, man, she raised me. You know, joy of my life, man. Passed away a few days ago, and so it's been a bittersweet. You know what I mean? It's been a bittersweet few days. Ended the week. It's definitely a tough way to end the week, but you know, as I just did my reflection, man, just wanted to end on a positive note and just celebrate life, man. You know what I mean? My grandmother, she gave us hell on earth, man, for 86 years. Unfortunately, she had dementia, so she battled with dementia for like 10 years. You know, so in essence, a lot of times she was just almost existing. You know what I mean? More than living. And so now we know that, man, rest in peace. Her soul is up, and she up in heaven. She up in heaven giving it to him, man. She up in heaven giving it to him. She was lit before we knew what lit meant, man. But a couple things, man, that just really, you know, kind of spiraled off of that is I haven't really had, I was trying to think like, man, the last time, you know, somebody really close passed away. And it's been, I mean, no one really, honestly, that close. She was my grandmother, but raised me. So it was like, it's like my mother, you know what I'm saying? Right. So, and my mother's still living and don't really know my father. So for somebody to be that close, this is the closest person that probably has passed.
Right.
So I'm used to, you know, people coming and going, obviously, and that's what it did. But to have somebody this close, it's almost like you don't necessarily know how to respond. And for a moment, I found myself, you know, preparing to respond in a way that I thought I should respond. You know what I mean? Like, you see things on TV, you see people grieving in their own way, and I know obviously the grieving process is important, and so I wanted to make sure that I had some time to grieve and process it. But I found myself like trying to set up a grieving process that I might not have even needed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I just got to the point where it's like, let me not sit around and kind of set this stage. Like I might not even need it. You know, let me do what I do. You know what I mean? Let me operate in a normal capacity. Obviously, I need to take time and give my respects and take time in this grieving process because that's important. You know, you don't want to mask or bottle up, you know, these feelings and emotions. And, of course, I have my time. But I say all that to say, man, you know, don't get caught up in, you know, going through a process, whether it's grieving or some sort of other process, just because you think that's what the process should be. Just because you think you need to go and sit down somewhere and do nothing. I mean, I was calling off meetings, you know, rightly so. Like the first day I found out, I called off some meetings and just didn't necessarily want to, you know, be in that position. But then I found myself calling off future meetings. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna cancel stuff for the next day and the next day and the next day. And then I just got like, why am I canceling all that? What am I gonna do? You know what I mean? Just sit here and sulk in it. So I found myself, man, just having to retract and say, look, let me do what I normally do. I want to make sure I give myself the opportunity to, you know, process and grieve how I need to, but not Don't let me just set some stuff up because that's how I think you should grieve,
Right.
or I seen this on TV, or this is
Right.
how somebody else went through this process. Let me do what I do, man. And I know my grandmother would want me, being active and getting to it like I normally would. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Definitely sorry for your loss, man. I know we done obviously talked about it, you know what I mean, multiple times. And, whenever you lose anybody close to you, and really just you start reflecting on the value of life. And I was going to ask you that, man, like, in reflecting over the last few days, and we say it a lot, every day is a gift, tomorrow's not promised, live your life one day at a time, it may be your last, that type of thing, or give you all of that, all those cliches. But like over the last 3 days, just reflecting, are those statements, are they more valuable to you, or do you feel like, since she gave it her all and fought, as long as she could, like, she did it the right way, but do you just feel like, those are a little bit more real to me now that you finally have, and not finally like it's a good thing, but finally you have somebody yeah.
Nah, I mean, I wouldn't say that those words or phrases mean any more or any less. You know what I mean? I think I always take those seriously and take them to heart. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, one of the things that kind of hurt me the most, even though, like I said, she's lived a long life, somewhat preparing. I mean, when people get of age, you kind of start to make preparations. And of course, health-wise, physically, she's had some challenges over there. So we've somewhat been prepared for it, but I didn't get a chance to see. I didn't get a chance to, have a lasting moment, if you will. You know what I mean? My grandmother lives down in Florida, and so of course, with everything going on in COVID, I couldn't get down there to see her. And I really was desperately, literally this month, I was trying to get down there because I wanted to see her, not knowing, what the timetable would be. And I just didn't get a chance to see her kind of that one last time, if you will. And so I kind of, I ain't gonna say regret it, but you know what I'm saying? That's just something that kind of weighed heavy on me. But to the fact that like every day, is a gift. You can't take it for granted, man. I mean, that's true. Like, you know what I mean? And I carry that and try to live, my life, with that kind of, being understood day in and day out, man, because we just never know. I think for, again, someone a little older, someone expecting it is probably hit a little different. Yeah. If it was, someone that you not necessarily having any inclination that's about to happen. But either way, man, like I said, she gave it her all, man. We love her to death, and I know she in a better place, man. So it's all good. The other thing too, man, that she just taught me, man, is just the notion of hard work and discipline. You know what I'm saying? And I take that, and I got to kind of give credit because, my grandfather, her husband, passed when I was very, very young. And so she literally worked, tirelessly to provide for myself and the family. She was kind of like the matriarch of the family, you know what I mean? But I remember literally, she would have to go to work. Like when I was 10, 11 years old, she would have to go to work at night. She worked third shift, worked the night shift, graveyard shift. And she worked in a juvenile center. And, delinquents, cats acting crazy. And she be there, holding it down. They ain't mess with.
That's why she was ready for you all.
Yeah. I couldn't get nothing past her. They weren't messing with Mattie Strong. But she just taught me that hard work, man. And just seeing her get up and grind and go and drive 60 miles, every day in the middle of the night to go to put in what she needed to put in from a work standpoint so that she could provide for us, just meant a lot for me, man. And it's funny, like, those are some of my best days, man. At night, staying home.
I'm about to say, like, if you get into waiting to fail, it's a couple stories in there, man. Like, just about some of the stuff you got into when she was around.
I used to get into some stuff, but I would always remember. It was crazy because it was like I was a bit. We grew up in the hood. Probably one of the best streets in the neighborhood, but it's still the hood. It's still everything you can imagine.
So y'all had at least a basketball hoop or two on the street.
Oh, I had a basketball hoop.
Oh, yeah, you was spoiled, bro.
Yeah. My grandma, she got me.
She
And I had the real hoop too, though. Like, see, I used to go a couple blocks, and we used to have the milk crate.
Oh, for sure.
On the light pole. You know what I mean? Like, I just be thinking back, like, bro, you had to be like a sharpshooter to, you know what I'm saying? I used to play with the little mini basketballs, but you had to, like, man, come on, man, bank that boy off.
And then when you went to the park, you had the double rim, so you got to be able to, you know what I mean?
But yeah, so we grew up, man, and at night, you know, she would leave, and I'd be like, sometimes I'd be like, yo, can I stay up a little bit? But what happened is,
I gotta sit up for this.
So at night, I would go and sneak and go and grab her gun. You know what I mean? So I had me a little BB gun. You know what I mean? When I was younger, I had a couple little BB guns. I've been fascinated with like weapons and guns for a while.
You right?
Hey, I'm straight. But I had me a couple little BB guns, but I would always go get her gun. She had this little 38 special, little snub nose. And so I would go get that boy because I would occasionally hear stuff. You know, we decent house, we had a couple stories. So like I hear something and I'm like, dang, somebody trying to get in the house. You know what I mean?
So you just ready.
So yeah, I'm always ready. You know what I mean? You gotta stay ready and gotta get ready. So I used to go get her little gun.
Glad nobody was breaking in, man. You might not be sitting here right now playing around.
I used to go get her little gun, and if I heard something, my philosophy was you gotta go get them first. I'm not waiting on you to come and get me. Like, I'm about to come and get you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like 10.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like.
I'm like 10. I'm coming to get you, though.
All right.
So whenever I hear a noise, I'm like, all right. I get the gun, I get the strap.
But that's how scared you was, though, because you heard a noise and you like, I got to go get the strap.
Yeah, I was nervous.
Get the strap.
And you know when you hear something, like all your senses clear up, like, you know what I mean? Adrenaline rushing your ear, like everything. You could be stopped up, congested, cold, and you smell everything. Like, you ready to go. I used to go get the jump, and I used to run downstairs. Now, here's the trick. I was scared, but the trick is you can't show how scared you are. You gotta put the fear in whoever you coming at.
That you can't see though.
So you just gotta start yelling. You know what I mean? So I'm running down the steps with a 38 in my hand, just yelling, "Get out of my house!" Like, you know, I'm going crazy. Y'all got some profanity probably coming.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm going crazy. And then
like Kanye right now. My man tripping.
Yeah, like
my man losing it a little bit.
So I'm going crazy, man. Then I get down there, turn all the lights on, and then it's nothing. So then I go back upstairs, you know what I'm saying, and go back to sleep.
Come on, man. How many times you do that, you think, as a kid?
Oh.
Every day. Every day you heard something.
Every day. Yeah, that was it. Like, yo. And then it just started becoming fun. Like, then I knew nobody was down there, but I'm like, let me just practice.
And yell.
Yo, get out my house.
You ain't never shoot her gun?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
I ain't never shoot it. Nah, I ain't never shoot it in the house.
Oh, okay.
I shot my BB gun. I used to shoot that out the window. I done shot a couple people with the BB gun.
That's selfish. Selfish, man.
But
that's a good story, man.
Yeah, man. Grandma, man, I love you. She ain't never know. And then here's the deal. I would always go put the gun back nice and neat, so she would never know I had a
fingerprints off of it.
Nah, fingerprint. I'm going down.
You'll be the first person. They don't even think it's her.
I'm going down, man.
Nah, that's what's up, man.
And you know what? I still got that piece too, man. I
still
got that piece. Yeah, I still got that piece. Man. So that's what's up. Man, you know what's crazy? So, guns is, you can't, like, you know, it's becoming a scarcity right now. Like, everybody getting prepared. For whatever. I don't know what cats getting prepared for. Hey,
COVID.
Me included. But
gonna shoot COVID.
Cats is getting prepared. Like, I went to the gun store the other day, and it is like, lines is out the door. Mm-hmm. You like, you can't find what you really want. You know what I'm saying? You can't get no ammo. Mm-hmm. Ammo is out, or if they have any, you limit it. Like, oh, you can only buy one box.
Right.
Like, man, what is one box? So you listen. You gotta get ready, man.
Come on, man. They I got like 2 classic experiences with guns. The one is like a 20-second story. Literally, I just remember being a kid and my granddad used to have like this 6-cylinder joint, like a car type. Like, is it 6-cylinder, whatever, bullet, six-shooter? I don't know what it was, bro. But it was heavy and it was chromy.
It was chromy?
It was chromy and it was heavy.
You probably had you a little 357.
And I remember holding it. I remember him coming around the corner like, if you don't put that gun down. But he just had a look, and my grandfather never like ever yelled at me ever, but for whatever reason,
you just knew that was serious.
Yeah, so I put it down, never touched it again. Yeah. And I never touched another gun because when I started getting older, I started watching a lot of shows, and I never wanted to be that dude to have a fingerprint on something, and then they get used for something, and then I go down for it, like my imagination, right? And I did my best, you know what I mean? Like, I had a couple bruhs, you know what I'm saying, that you knew was carrying or whatnot. But, you know, I mean, bro, I wasn't in the streets like that. So just no interaction. It was just never was my thing. And so I remember it was me, Dave, Tip was around. T.I. Shout out to T.I., man.
T.I.P.
Expeditiously.
Yeah.
He was there. Well, he wasn't there when we went to the spot, but he was in Atlanta, though.
He was in the mix.
You was there. Anyway, so if you remember right, so Dave Patterson, right? Shout out to DP. And this dude right here was playing some video game. I can't remember what it was. You know, it's something to do with guns. And so Dave, one of y'all got the idea that y'all was gonna really like go like to the gun, go to the range. Now I had never been to a gun range before, so we going to the gun range. Now here's the thing: we was in Atlanta. This was our rookie year in the NFL. After our rookie year, and you know we got a couple dollars in our pocket, so I'll never forget. I had on some white. Like polo shorts.
All white, everything.
Listen, all white polo shorts. I had on a green Apple Lacoste shirt, little polo joint, and I had on some white like Louis Vuitton sneakers. So I'm ready. We in Atlanta, baby. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
who goes to the gun range all white?
Listen, that was the outfit for the day. We weren't even supposed to go to the gun range. We were supposed to be going wherever we was going, to the mall, go out, whatever. So I'm looking fresh, smelling good, got a nice watch on. I'm ready, like, you know, whatever the world holds for us. And they're like, let's go to the gun range first. I'm like, man, well, you know, I ain't changing. So we going to the gun range. I don't know what to expect. I walk in. Now we in Atlanta. Since I don't know no names, it ain't gonna get nobody in trouble. We walk in, and you know, Dave go in. You know, he obviously a frequent customer. Oh, what's up, Dave? How you doing, man? Whatever. He's like, yeah, I got my two boys here. So I think they was like, hey, let us see your ID. So you showed your ID. I showed my ID. I don't think I had to sign for nothing or nothing. All I know is 5 minutes later, these two dudes was gone. Like, they had their guns, whatever. And so, dude, they kind of left me by myself. What kind of gun you want? I'm like, man, let me just get that one. Dude gave me the gun, the ammo, everything, bro. I ain't never shot nothing, just gave it to me, bro. Like, I ain't signed no paperwork or nothing. So I get in the spot, and so all I know is to do what I seen on TV.
Second mistake.
So, you know, I just got the gun, you know what I mean? I don't even know. I think he like loaded. I don't even remember, man. All I know is these dudes is right next to me. So y'all next to me, and I can hear y'all. And y'all put on a little thing, so I'm like, well,
gotta go.
We here now.
Gotta go for it.
Might as well. So, I don't know. I don't know how I held my hands. I ain't hold it the right way. I know now you're supposed to hold it underneath, though. Man, that thing pulled back and ripped off like a piece of my thumb, dog. Like, now I'm bleeding everywhere. I didn't even want to go. Wait a minute. I didn't want to go. These dudes talked me into going. I said I didn't want to shoot. I was just going to wait around. They told me to get the gun. I get the gun. Then they don't even tell me how to shoot the gun. The thing pulls back, whatever, kicks back something. And next thing I know, I'm leaking from my thumb for like the next 2 hours.
Selfish.
And y'all laughing the whole time.
Selfish.
Like, that was, hey, and then after that, I was like, man, I'm done. I'm done, man.
Done.
So then I just got back into the gym. Got these guns.
That's all you need, baby.
Hey, man.
That's all you need.
I'll never forget that. I still got that scar. Matter of fact, it's right here. Can we zoom in on that? I don't know. It's right here.
I see it.
Little gash right there, man.
I see it.
That thing right there, bro. It was a wrap.
That's selfish.
I was nervous. My heart was beating off fast.
If you'd had a revolver, that wouldn't happen.
I know. The other thing is, you know, when something like that happens, because it's loud, so you shooting a gun, and then you see blood, I'm like, man.
Got me.
I can't catch the ball no more. I didn't even want to look down, bro. Like, it was just like, because I felt it was just burning. And I had my thumb. I was thankful, man. I think I gave my life to Christ that day.
Selfish. Selfish. Hey, man.
It's my gun story, man.
That's a good story. That's a good story.
Yeah, because you was there. Y'all talked me into it, man.
That's a good story, man.
Had to go back to the crib. I'm holding it. Remember I had a napkin just holding it like this, dog. For the whole weekend. Messed up the whole weekend. Blood on my whites.
Nah, that made the weekend.
No,
that's just another story.
Dang, dog. There's DNA all over the place. Nah, they probably looking for me in ATL, so warrant. So they took my blood and put it on the case.
Nah, you going too far.
Law and Order, baby.
You going too far.
Watch too many. Mariska Hargitay. That's the Law and Order person. Yeah, man. That's what happened. Anyway, speaking of being in the NFL and Colts, I'm gonna tell a quick story. Matter of fact, before I this is funny too, because it was after I almost blew my thumb off. But this past week, man, we got a chance to go serve a little bit, man. Why don't you tell the people about what we done?
Yeah, straight up, man. We did a outreach event, man. A good deal. Another one of our good deeds, not ours, but just serving. You know what I mean? Just being in position, using the platform. But we did this piece called Safe Summer Outreach, man, where we pretty much got together and thanks to everyone that purchased some of the shirts, the Silence is Not an Option. All right, Silence is Not an Option shirt. Those proceeds went to this outreach where we purchased masks and on organic juices, right? Some really good healthy juices from our folks at Clean Juice. And we gave them out. I mean, pretty easy. We picked some families in a community that needs our help, and we're pretty frequent there. You know, offering different programs and services for this area. South side of Columbus, Ohio, the Moeller area, Livingston area. If you're familiar with that area, man. But we got a chance to go. Took about 40, 50 volunteers out, man. Packed it all up, the juices, the masks, and then just hit the street. Man. Hit the block. Went house to house. Passing out again masks for safety. A lot of our these families and some of the kids don't have the proper equipment, don't have the right masks. They're sharing masks and different things of that nature, man. So we saw an area in a void. And we wanted to fill that. And then also, again, just being summer, it's hot outside. What are some alternative, foods and juices and liquids and things that we can put in our body, that will boost up our immune system, hopefully. And that's just good and healthy for us, man, providing some alternative, options for the folks there that may not normally get some of this stuff, man. So it was a good deal. Really appreciated it. We got to roll around in mass numbers, wearing our shirts, man, and looking in unison in uniform. Everybody is wondering, what are we doing? And all we doing is just giving. All we doing is just giving, man. And so, one of the things about, we always talk about, we do our part in giving, but the other party has to be also open to receiving. And I think, in this outreach, sometimes, man, you just come and knock on somebody's door.
Right.
They like, wait a minute,
Right.
especially during these times. But I will say, I think without a doubt, no hiccups. Everybody was open to receiving, welcomed us, welcomed, the items that we were bringing with open arms and open hearts, and received it, man. And that's a big thing, because sometimes we get in our own way. Egos get in. Oh, no, I'm cool. I don't need your mask. Yes, you do. Stop playing.
Yes, you
know
do.
what I mean? I don't need this juice. I don't even drink that. What is this? Orange,
Right.
acai. Like, man, drink the juice, man. You know what I mean? But we had fun, man. We had fun.
I don't eat spinach.
Eat spinach, man.
Ain't no sugar
I
in
ain't
this.
never watched Popeyes.
That's crazy.
Spinach, man.
No, I loved it, man. It was good, man. It was a couple of things that stood out to me. The first one was the fact that we had 6 or 7 Columbus police officers with us.
Yeah.
Which I thought was huge. I mean,
maybe more than that. Probably about 10.
Yeah. So I think, right now there's so much tension and different things being said and different narratives, but our relationship with the Columbus police officers, they always come out and show love at our events. And they don't just come out and, hey man, we just standing by the door of security. They're actually serving with us. They'll rotate posts, but they putting food in boxes, they're going to the doors, they passing out stickers to the kids. And you will be surprised if you let the media tell it, everybody hate the police. But man, kids love police officers, man. Like every time we saw a young person in the streets, they were like, hey, you guys are doing, what are you guys doing? You guys are here. And they were really receptive to your point, and had a great time. And so that was really, really cool. So we really appreciate them coming out, showing the positive side of what it means to serve and to protect, man. And so we love them for that. So that definitely stood out to me, because usually, you might have 4 or 5. I mean, they were out and and stayed the whole time, which was really cool. So that was absolutely awesome. So appreciate Sergeant Fuqua and Tone Lowry, who was out there as well, which is awesome. The second thing that stood out, you mentioned it, was our T-shirts. Everybody had on shirts that said respect everyone, which was extremely powerful. And for real, the motivation behind the shirt came from a quote that actually came from Malcolm X later in his life, after he kind of moved away from the Nation of Islam, so to speak. And he was just talking in general, and he was like, man, it's not that I hate anybody or I'm mad at anybody. He was like, man, I respect everyone. I just want black people to love themselves. And so I saw that respect everyone piece, and just pulled that out and was like, yo, that's a good statement for everybody right now, because there's so many different opinions and different perspectives. But just to step back and say, all right, I respect you as a human being, so much so that I'm gonna allow you to speak and I'm gonna listen, and vice versa, and we can have a conversation. So that everybody had on white T-shirts said respect everyone. Matter of fact, they're online at driventees.org, but we're gonna do a small little campaign around that here coming soon on that respect everyone piece, probably just for the end of July. We're gonna do something special around that, so that'll be really good. But I love the fact that you could see us coming from 100 yards away and you see 20, 30 people with shirts that say respect everyone, man. That goes a long way. So that stood out big time. But the other thing that stood out was, honestly, even in that moment, I'm like, man, we still got to do more. And how so much energy has been focused on, COVID and racism and this and that, and there's so much division, but basic human needs are still not being met. And it's still, while people are protesting, which is dope and we need it, and while people are talking and having conversation behind the scenes and Zoom calls about solutions, while all that's happening, there's still massive groups of people all around the country that's not eating, that don't have masks, that don't have proper, shelter, whatever it may be. And that's kind of where we come in and we do our part, where we want to always make sure that we're focusing on the things that are extremely important, which is making sure these different groups have what they need. And so we gave each family about 15 or so masks. Some families are families of 8 in a house, 2-bedroom household, 8 people living in it. Others, it might just be two kids and a single mom. But we made sure everybody had masks. And those juices are big time, man. Like, they retail at like $10 a piece, man. And Clean Juice came through and helped us greatly. And also shout out to First Merchant Bank for supporting the outreach as well. So, I mean, it was just a great time. And I really enjoyed it, man. And I'm looking forward to it moving forward. We got another one coming up probably here at the end of August. So make sure you check out staydriven.org to kind of stay apprised of what we got going on. But that was a great time. That was a real good time.
It was.
Yeah, man. So before we go, got something for the people real quick. My first year with the Colts, we both messed our shoulders up. All right, both messed our shoulders up. Big aspirations. Because I had messed up shoulders, how I ended up in Atlanta almost blowing my thumb off, right? Because I messed my shoulder up.
Blowing my deal off the deal.
If I never had messed up my shoulder, I wouldn't have been in Atlanta. So going into my second year, I saw Peyton Manning in the locker room. So he's walking through, and so I'm coming off an injury. So I see him, and I'm like, this is a good opportunity for me to like really like let him know I'm working. So I go up to him like, yo, P, what's up, man? He's like, oh, what's up, bro? Hey, man, listen, I want to let you know I'm working hard, doing my thing. I'm ready to go. I'm healthy. I know the playbook now. I've been studying in the off season. I was watching film, you know what I mean, during last season, so forth and so on. So he's like, man, that's great, man. Looking forward to having you. Yeah. You know, and he complimented me at the time. Like, you know, you 6'3", 235. You ain't like the rest of the receivers. You bring something else to the table. We could definitely use you this year. Let's go. Nice. And that's all I needed. Nice. Go through off season.
Himself.
There you go. Go through the off season. You know, play in the first game. Knee swell up like this. Have to have knee surgery. Missed like 13 games. Played in like 2. Right? So season basically wiped out. So come back, man, go over through the summer, working out, doing my thing, come back stronger, bigger, faster, more knowledgeable. I see Peyton, the same intersection in the locker room around the same time in the summertime. See him again. Yo, what's up, P? I'm ready to go now. I'm healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know last year my knee was messed up. Yeah. You know what I mean? We lost that year in the playoffs to San Diego. So I'm like, man, you know, it was a tough loss because we was like the favorite. We was the number 1 seed and lost in San Diego. And, you know, I'm like ready to go, you know, ready to, you know, push it to the next level. He looked me in the face and said, man, you told me that last year, and walked away.
Dang.
Yeah, I know, right?
Selfish.
So that 235, you know what I mean? Kind of revved up a little bit, you know, in my mind. Like, I really wanted to, like, get at him, but, you know, that would have been the end of my football career.
Man, that would have probably been the end of your – you would have got missing.
I wouldn't even be here right now.
FBI would have – you know what I mean? Code K, Law and Order. Code.
I don't know. I probably wouldn't even got close enough to him. You know what I'm saying? They probably would have hit me up. Anyway, so I was heated and I was salty. The crazy thing is that year, I ended up messing my knee up again anyway. So, like, but I was angry at the time, but in reflecting on it, I figured it out. And it goes along with a lot of what we've been talking about. Silence is not an option, respect everyone, or even serving, where words can be tricky, but actions attract trust. So words can be tricky, but actions attract trust, where if you say you're going to do something, when you say a word or you say something, it doesn't really account for the unexpected, right? You can say whatever you want to. Hey, I'm going to do this, or this is what I'm about to do. But if something comes up and, for example, you know, your grandma passed, like if you wanted to do something, you said you're going to do something, you didn't expect that, so you may have to cancel a couple things or whatever it may be. So words don't really account for what's going to happen. But your actions and what you do is how you start to attract trust in people. And so what Peyton was saying was, I was depending on you last year to be there, and you wasn't there. And maybe if you was healthy, maybe we would have won. And you told me that you was going to be around. And now obviously injuries you can't account for. But at the same time, he was like, bro, like, I believed you when you told me. Right. Fast forward, I'm saying the same thing that I was saying last year. He like, nah, I'm good on that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so
show me.
At the end of the day, you know what I mean? What you do is what matters, man. What you do. Yeah, man. You gotta show me.
They say the best ability, right, is availability. You know what I'm saying? The best ability is availability. Man. Everybody talking about they can do this and they can do that. Well, you gotta be there. You gotta show up. Where you at? You know what I'm saying? Where you at?
Where you at?
Where you at, man?
That's good, man.
That's it. That's a good story, man. Does Peyton, does Peyton know this story?
He'll probably deny it. He'd be like, nah, I ain't say that. Better teammate than that. No, he probably be like, nah, I said that. I remember it too. He probably remember it. Probably remember everything too.
Probably remember that.
Probably remember everything about it. Yeah. Like what I was wearing and all that.
So we lost to San Diego 2 years in a row?
Yeah.
Because our rookie year, we lost to him at our house.
Yeah. We lost out there.
Dang.
You know what's really crazy?
It's crazy.
I know we shutting down, but what was really crazy is at San Diego after my second year, when we lost. Let's see, LaDainian Tomlinson was balling, Phillip Rivers was there. That was actually the very last time I all the way got on like an NFL field. And I still got 2 years after that because the next year missed the whole season. And then after that, the year after that, we went to Detroit and was on practice squad. So, so like my very last game was that game. And like, you just never know. Like somebody told me that one time, like, man, like if you think about it, like I bet you didn't know that your last play, like how many people know that they last play is like their last play? Yeah. Like you just don't even know which play is going to be. You know what I mean? So.
Same thing in life. Never know when it's your last play. It's your last day, man. Get after it.
It's a good story. All right,
Easy.
G. Good work.